Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Episode 6 and Episode 7 of Invaders of the Rokujouma. These two episodes here adapt Volume 4 of the light novel, and they focus mainly on the character Thea. Now, Thea is the alien princess from Forthorth who has come to Earth to conquer Kotaro's apartment as sort of like a trial to make her eligible for the throne back on her planet. Now, last video I talked about how the anime doesn't really make the passage of time as clear as it does in the novels, and I'll talk about that again in a second. But I guess we'll talk about how these two episodes start. Basically, the episode starts with Kotaro approaching the girls and asking them to he is trying to write a script for the theater club, mainly because his friend Mackenzie said that he couldn't do it. And so he has asked the other girls to help, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's sort of like this weird, almost like a bet where Kotaro's friend said there's no way his script would be chosen, and then he goes to the girls and tells them, he goes to them and says, well, if we all write one, there's a chance that we'll get picked. But, like, that's not how it works. And then even later on in the episode, when he doesn't get picked, his script doesn't get chosen, he's sort of, like, upset about it. Like, so I don't know what the reasoning for that is. It's basically just an excuse to get everyone writing plays. And when he brings this up, Kiriha looks and says that the deadline is 1 month from now, right? So that gets us into the time frame thing. The volume that this is adapting starts in September. So the beginning of September is them basically writing their scripts, and then it jumps to the beginning of October, which is them having chosen a script that they're going to perform at the school, and then November is when the play actually is performed. So like a few months have passed, and the anime started in April. So what would that be? These two episodes end us in November. So we're 7 months in, which the anime doesn't really harp on that much, or really even point out much, which I find to be a bit weird as I'm going through. But it's not a huge deal. So all the invaders and Kotaro are attempting to write a play. Oh boy. And also we have a little bit of like a subplot with Eureka, who a member of the cosplay club has asked her to look after one of their pets while they move. And the pet is a Hercules beetle, which from the last volume and the last set of episodes, we had Kotaro hugging Ruth and then calling her a beetle. And so everyone's kind of afraid to mention that it's a beetle to Ruth, and they try very hard to not let her find out, which is just silly. Again, this is some of the silliness that I miss from later on in the series. It's just goofy and fun. So we have everyone writing plays. Eureka's taking care of the pet. She's living in the closet still. But because she can't sleep with the little beetle like moving around, Kotaro has allowed her to basically move out of the closet for the time being and live in the actual apartment. And so we don't really get much of them writing their scripts together. But we do get scenes of Kotaro and Sanae writing it. Because basically Kotaro incentivized all the girls to write scripts by giving them some of his points for the room, right? So everyone that writes a script, he was going to give them 5 points, and if one of their scripts was chosen, he'd give them 20 of his points. So Sanae, I don't think they mention it in the anime, but I believe the way she submits her script is through Ruth. So basically she gives her script to Ruth, and then Ruth submits it for her, because Sanae is a ghost and doesn't actually go to the school. So we get a little bit about Sanae's backstory, about her parents, about how, from the way she describes it, they basically eloped. Her mother was from like a rich family, and her father apparently was not, and so they ran away. So we get a little bit about Sanae in this. We also get a brief glimpse about Kiriha's past in this, where during a rehearsal for the play, I didn't even say who won yet. Jesus, Thea won. Right? It's these two episodes are about her. Her play won. It is a story from her planet, like it's a fairy tale, but it's also based on a real event called The Silver Princess and the Blue Knight. Now, the Silver Princess was Princess Alea from a few thousand years ago, who there was a coup, and the Blue Knight protected her. And that's what it is, right? It's just like a fairy tale story about a princess and the knight saving her while somebody else is trying to take over the country. Anyway, Kiriha, we get a brief glimpse of her past where there's a line in the script of the play where Princess Leia asks the Blue Knight where he is from, and I'm going to butcher the line because, first of all, the anime translation and the light novel translation are very different, but even then I probably don't remember it perfectly, where basically he responds by saying he's from like endless time and immeasurable distance, I think is how the novel puts it. It was different in the subtitles, but I don't remember what it was. Which Kiriha has heard before in the past, and we see like a brief flash to that. So Sanae and Kiriha get a little bit of fleshing out in this, as well as basically most of it being about Thea. So mainly this volume is about Thea and Kotaro basically getting close, and we get like the best way to sort of show like how close they have gotten throughout the whole thing is they actually start calling each other their proper names at some point in this couple of episodes. So we have that, right? They still bicker back and forth and whatnot, but they're very friendly. Again, 7 months have gone by the end of this. They start the show off fighting, but everyone's getting closer, right? We also get our first named villain in this, because the ghost hunters from the last couple of episodes didn't get names, I don't believe, and the ghost that they fight at the end also didn't have a name, I don't believe. But the villain in this is a girl called Clan. She is another princess from Forthorth, also trying to win the throne, and she has come here to basically try and sabotage Thea. And throughout the I don't remember if it starts in the first episode or if it's just in the second, but we see like there's a scene where a stage light has been rigged to fall and almost hits Thea, and so yeah, we got Clan here trying to sabotage Thea. Another character. Boy, there's a lot of characters in this show. The play. Let's talk about the play, I guess. I'm all over the place with this video, and I've already tried to record it like 2 or 3 times. I'm not starting again. Alright, so the play. It starts off with Mackenzie, who is a member of the theater club. He is supposed to play the Blue Knight, and they are struggling to find a actress to play Alea. Kotaro suggests Harumi, who comes in, and this is sort of the first time that she really gets, I want to say the first time she gets a chance to interact with everyone. She doesn't really interact with the other girls much, but this is the first time where she is being like more directly involved with everyone, because for the most part, outside of Volume 2 where she befriends Eureka, like she hasn't really interacted with Thea or Kiriha, and obviously not Sanae. So Harumi's here too, and basically everyone's here. And so Kotaro is helping her practice, right? And Harumi is able to give a really good performance when working with Kotaro, but not able to do it with Mackenzie. So eventually Kotaro becomes the actor that will play the Blue Knight. And so Thea starts basically training him to be as much like a knight as possible, right? She's training him to be an actual knight, not just play a knight. So we get a lot of that. We see him in the armor a lot. He's being he's being taught how to like sword fight and stuff. which comes into play at the end when Clan finally attacks, and Kotaro defeats her with the prop sword that he has been practicing with. And we also get another glimpse at the white magic during that fight. A very short fight. And we finally get somebody acknowledge it, right? Like, Eureka acknowledged it in Volume 2, and what would that be? Episode 3. And then Episode 5, we sort of see Sanae acknowledge the white magic, where the charm is falling and she catches it and she sort of freaks out about it. But this is the first time while it's actually happening that somebody points out, like, oh, hey, it's the white magic from before. So Sanae points that out. So they're finally acknowledging that the white magic has been something that's been happening throughout. So Kotaro defeats Clan with the prop sword and the white magic, and she goes away. Ruth discovers that Eureka is keeping a beetle and freaks out. And it's just silly and fun. And basically we get... that's basically it. Kotaro and Thea grew really close through the training to become a knight and basically doing everything with the play. And we see Ruth sort of acknowledge that. Because I forget when this is. This might happen in a future episode, and I might be sort of jumping ahead. But there's a point where Ruth in the novels brings up how Thea didn't really get a chance to just be a kid, and now she gets to just sort of like have fun and stuff like that. So Ruth's happy to see that, since she's sort of her friend and her knight. So this has been an even more rambly video than usual. Alright, let's talk about things that were cut. I don't really have much to say in regards to this, because I don't really remember too much. This is just a feeling. I don't even know if something here was cut, but I feel like at the beginning of the episode, 6, where it just starts with Kotaro being like, hey, help me write scripts for the play. I don't know, I feel like there might have been more to that in the novel, but I can't say for sure. It might have just started cold like that. It just seemed really awkward and sort of weird. The one thing I do know that was cut was, I believe it was in episode 6. Kotaro is walking to school, and Sanae is on his shoulders, and they bump into Thea, who is carrying a bunch of props and stuff for the play. That scene is way longer in the novels, where we bring up Kotaro's sort of love of baseball again, which has been almost completely cut out of the anime. So we see Kotaro and Sanae walking up to school, and he's basically just staring at the other high school kids playing baseball, and we get this we get a moment in that scene in the novels where Sanae sort of thinks to herself, like, where she's wishing she wasn't a ghost, right? Where she's like, well, if I was actually alive, I would be able to help out more at the apartment, and he wouldn't have to. Basically, he could play baseball if he wanted to, which obviously wouldn't be the case. If she was alive, she would not be there. But I think it's a good. It shows how she is thinking in the moment, right? She's staying at the apartment and haunting it because she's waiting for her parents to come back. But if she was alive, she wouldn't be waiting for them. But right now, she still thinks about her parents, but she's starting to see, like, Kotaro as family, kind of. Anyway, that's just what I think. That's it. That's gonna do it for this episode. I can look through the illustrations, I guess, real quick, but I doubt there is anything. Oh, I will point out this one thing, and this has nothing to do with the anime. It has everything to do with the novel. But when I made a video on Volume 4, I forgot to bring it up, I think. In the novel, they specifically say in this volume that Clan has blue hair, whereas when we see a color illustration of her later on, she has pink hair, and here in the anime she has pink hair. So that's just one of those interesting things where the author had an idea early on, but then probably changed it because, Ruth already has blue hair, right? which I guess you can have multiple characters with the same color hair. Kiriha and Harumi both have black hair, but like it's later changed to pink. So that's just an interesting thing. Anyway, this video is long. I don't want these videos to be this long. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.